Hey, we're Crush 2029.
Welcome to Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball Between the Lines from Orlando.
Welcome to Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball Between the Lines with man Coach V. What's up, Coach V?
What's going on?
Man, Coach, I told you we're going to come to Orlando and I'm going to get in the pool. I'm not in the pool, I'm in the hot tub because I know I won't drown, so that's why I got the shark protecting me. So, Coach, what's going on, though?
I don't know, it's Jaws, man. Anytime you in water with sharks, there's Jaws there. Watch out.
But the problem thing about
meat in the water.
Coach, the thing about it, when you hang out with Chris Crawford, you're going to have to watch the sharks, so I got to learn about the sharks. So the last 2 days
jumping in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Hot tub time machine in it? Going back to your younger days?
I'm going back to my younger days, man. It's just that I can't stay in too long because I'm going to get wrinkled. You know what I'm saying, Coach?
I know what you're saying.
Well, Coach, let's talk about Chicago. Let's talk about some of the girls that starting to get offers. Talk about how everything kind of ended up last week. We're out here in Orlando in the Puma Nationals. It's funny because you talk about the EYBL, you talk about Adidas, you talk about Under Armour, but when you start, talking about this circuit, the boys' side is really strong. The girls are going to have to get stronger. Some of the things I've seen being at Kentucky Run for the Roses and being here, it's a little bit different. You got a lot of boys teams. Here in girls team, I think we end up having 38 in our bracket, but they're gonna have to do some work if they're gonna catch up with the other three circuits. And plus the power 24 and the 40 and all that. So it's a little bit different. But let's talk about some of these girls that's getting recruited though.
Let's talk.
Well, you look at EYB. You look at the EYBL. You start to see a lot of girls that's in the 20 the last year, going their senior year, starting to get a lot of pickup offers. I seen a 2030 get an offer, Coach, out of Indiana. We played against them last year in the future, and you start scratching your head. A seventh grader getting an offer. What's this world coming to?
I think there was a seventh grader dropped like 50 in the game. It might be her.
Well, but Coach, you can drop 50 in the game. Who did she play? The Academy of the Blind?
Yeah, I don't know. She's playing EYBL or top whatever. May have been playing up a little bit. We don't know.
Yeah. She was a 2029 and she came back down to a 2030. So, like I said, kudos to her for getting the offer. But, we're starting to see a lot of girls, like I said, getting the offer, like going on these big circuits. But at the end of the day, I think if, I talk about this young lady all the time, Brooklyn Miles. She played with JYD. She's not on the big circuit, and people found her. So, there's hope for these young ladies that's not on the big time circuit, so they can go get that offer that they need and want, and go to a college go to a school that's going to pay for their college.
Yeah, I'm sitting here doing invites for the Prep Hoop Showcase, and I'm seeing kids that I've seen all year just now. Offers are coming in left and right. So it's that time where people are making a push on the 26th. I think. We talked about the portal. I think people are now past the portal of the 25, so now the focus is on the 26s and getting them offers, getting them in on elite camps, and bringing them in and trying to get them to sign early.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You see some of these girls, you're starting to see a lot of the 2026 starting to get the names called and get the offers that, they've been wanting all season. So it's never too late. I know some of these girls be stressing about it. Where my name gonna get called, but it's starting to happen, and I tell you, you gotta give a shout out to the Legends. What they did, they went going to get on the circuit, and with the EYBL, and going 3-3. So I know Jesse and those guys are pretty excited about what they got going. I'm looking to start seeing some of those girls get offers over there because they got some of the best girls. And I told you the other day when me and you talked with the King young lady, I figured she had one by now with the game that she put on against I think it was Iowa Tax. I think she ended up having 23 points. One of the better teams in there. But, when you start getting at that next circuit, you start seeing some of these girls, man, they're grown women. Everybody's 6 foot. You don't see a bunch of 5'5" running around. Everybody's 6 foot, and that's what these coaches are looking. So you younger guards, younger, smaller guards are going to have to play bigger. They got to show that they can play at that level because I was looking at Mocan's 15U team. Jada Davis, a young lady I know, about 5'11", but she probably had 3 girls on that team that was way taller than her. So I just tell you, man, I don't know what they're feeding out there in some of these states, but they need to bring it out here to Oklahoma So again, our girl's a little bit taller, but I think like I said, I think the coaches will find you once you kind of you get your film out there. We talk about that all the time. Get your social media up. My buddy Andre, we had that discussion today. I was telling him, he thought he was against it, but he's over there with Maz Elite, and Coach Ed told him, can nobody? I mean, these coaches want to find out who you are. You got to have your film up. You can't just, like you said, you talk about it all the time. You just can't have a picture up. You got to show some film what you're doing in games. What you're doing from high school. And another thing too is running plays. A lot of AU teams don't run plays. It's just a bunch of running gun. But these college coaches, if you go play for any top notch or any college coach, I don't care if Division II, NAIA, whatever, they're all going to run plays. I mean, you know that, and so you got to be kind of have a little bit of basketball IQ.
Well, the thing here is that in AAU they see the versatility that you have. In high school, you may be limited because of what you have in school. You may be a 6-footer, and you may have to play inside a little bit for your high school team. In AAU, they see a 6-footer, and they get a chance to see your versatility at a guard.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's what the mix of AAU and high school is. I mean, maybe say for your crush queen, some of your kids get to play the 2 guard. But when they go to school ball, they may be the best ball handler. So, you know what? They're the point guard. And I think that's what AAU gets a chance to see is the versatility. The plays, the defense is a little lacking. But you get a chance to see people play more in one position. And hopefully if you pick your team right, you got kids that are playing more. And that's why when I write my articles, usually that's what I look for is how do you get the most out of one scholarship? Is it just going to be a kid that can do one thing, or is it a kid that can play multiple things? So, and for kids, it's the same thing. You don't want to be one number because they're always looking to recruit. And they may find somebody better than you, and if you can only play that one position, then I would say be like a quarterback. If that's the only position you can play, and they get a stud come in, and you know what? You're probably sitting on the bench. You shooting hoops in the pool?
Shooting hoops in the pool. Zoe's giving me a hard time, Coach. Zoe, the twins, and Shelby, they're giving me a hard time. They think I'm funny because I got this floaty around me. They don't understand. I can't swim, Coach. Mom should have took
your waist, your armpits, what?
I mean, Coach, I'm scared of water. Only time I'm okay when I'm taking a shower. So, so I gotta have this floaty on. If not, I might go under. You're too far away to come save me, Coach. So. And I don't know if they're going to save me. All dressed up and got their hairs done and nails done and went out and spent a bunch of money with their mamas today. Oh man, they don't want to eat. They want to go to Lululemon and Juju-Lemon, whoever the lemons are. I don't know who they are. Coach, I'm just saying I don't know who they are, man. We've been here for 2 or 3 days, and I think Zoe came back with like 9 bags already. And I'm asking, where you got this money at? I don't know if it's out in the backyard or what. Coach, help me. Help me.
You got money now because you took a loan out to go pay the interest.
Well, Coach, you ain't lying. It's $100 to get in, and then you're playing on some Walmart carpet put together court. So forgive me, Puma, but just keeping it real. But it's been a good. I didn't get no food yet. How much is that hot dog that Christian bought the other day? $10. Hey, a little bit better than Kentucky because Kentucky. Like I told you before, Chris Crawford had like 7 of them hamburgers though. So
$10 could be all beef.
Oh yeah, 4. Oh, he said
like I said, I'm looking at kids getting offers. I talked to David Musman the other day from the Swarm, and he's a 26 group. Almost all of them have commitments or interests. And Team Oklahoma, the S40 team, every kid on our team's got an offer. So for Oklahoma basketball, it was really represented well this year. The Crush Queens have some interest in there. There's another 17-year-old team. And so the 17-year-olds are getting offers, getting an opportunity to play basketball, and Oklahoma's doing pretty well in that area as far as being known nationwide.
Well, it's kind of funny because I sit back and I think why we don't have an EYBL team here because, you look at some of these other states, they got more than one team. In Oklahoma, year in, year out, we're putting out top players, going to Michigan, going to Auburn, going to, OU. And so why are these young ladies leaving the state of Oklahoma? Why we can't put it here? Because we have some great girls. I don't get that. I mean, please help me understand that.
Well, I think that's what the Legends are working with. They joined together, Trey Young and Team Griffin, who has the EYBL on the boys side package. I think that was an important year for the Legends to make their mark. I know that Side Fair was trying to do that when Amber split with Trey Young, but they're not going to have two Side Fair EYBL programs, one in Oklahoma, one in Texas.
Yeah, I understand
so
that.
I think the Legends are trying to piece that together with the Griffin and the Young joined together, and I think that's kind of the purpose of it. Hopefully that helps. We need a program. I've coached on the boys side with Athletes First on the EYBL, and it is definitely on the boys side it was one of the best, and on the girls side to me it's still the elite of the elite. I know Under Armour made a run this year. I know Adidas is solid, so I know there's some other brands that are out there, but I can only go by experience, and as being as a former on the coaching staff at EYBL, I can tell you that is where the best played on the boys' side.
Yeah. But Coach, like I said, we're winding down on the AU circuit. You got the Puma circuit this weekend, and next week it'll be the MAYB. I know that's pretty big. The boys are still located in Wichita. I don't know where the girls are going to be playing at, but I know they're here in Oklahoma. Then after that, Coach,
they'll be in Edmond, Santa Fe, the Hive, the Rock. That's where they'll kind of be at.
But you look at that after next weekend, the kids start reporting back to high school, and then you get your girls back, and I know a lot of these coaches are gonna be excited, and they start getting the weight room. You get your incoming freshmen, and I know a lot of coaches are gonna be excited when they the first day of school, because you're gonna find out who stayed and who left. Some might be in have that budget truck or that U-Haul. Get ready to move to a different school, or like we talked about the other day. Don't get caught cheating. Just make sure you have the correct address. Because I tell you right now, people's gonna be looking. Because it seems like everybody's trying to build that powerhouse team, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It really depends on the coaching and what's he gonna let them do. So I'm excited. I know here in a couple of weeks we get to have the freshman showcase. I know we'll have some few girls there. We'll have some different girls from all over the state that's going to come out, and you're going to get to see some girls. There's a girl like we talk about all the time, the young lady from Canute, Jay.
Right.
Yeah, great young lady. I know a lot of people don't know who she is, but I think she's a hell of a little player, man. Somebody asked me yesterday, how good she is, and I said, man, she's good. She's always moving. She ain't very tall, but you know what? She's a young lady that's playing on that. I think that Power 24 with True Texas, and getting coached by a world coach that played herself at Texas Tech. You got to think, if you're dedicated to go to, all the way to, I think it's in Albuquerque, Amarillo, wherever they're at. One of them states, Coach. I'm me. I'm gonna mess up some stuff. I'm gonna tear it up, Coach. This water's starting to get to me, Coach. It's starting to get to me. But no, you look at her. I mean, like you said, the one little young lady that's you think is a big time post player. She's a 2029 player. What was her name again?
Haley.
I mean, you started talking about girls that we don't see every day. There's a lot of girls out there that you don't see every day. They might be playing for some teams out of Texas, so it kind of once you get to see that showcase, you might have 30, 40 girls there that names that you don't know about. That I know you're going to be at that deal, and I know there's going to be a couple different ones for the what is it, one for the sophomores and juniors too, or just.
One week we're doing one with Prep Hoops, myself and several scouts, and we're doing that one for freshmen only. Then the next weekend, we're doing one for the sophomores to seniors. And I'm working on that today on the invites. 29 is a little hard because not every 29 has social media, which is something that we will talk about when we get there. But I'm working on trying to get the best. I can say that when I send out invites for my 26s, 27s, and 28s, I've seen almost all of them.
Yes, sir.
And then some of the 29s I've seen, some of them I've heard about, where I've seen film on. So we're going to try to get the best in there to try to get a good variable. I know people ask about ranking, but in the old school days, we just wrote, hey, it's one-on-one. Who's the best? One-on-one. Now you don't get that opportunity. I mean, you don't ever get a matchup. Of the best two players, and so now you kind of got to, there's a, you never know who actually is, but that's what I'm trying to work on, is trying to get the best there, so we can get an even feel of the rankings and comparison of who's who, and then see who's going to help these programs. And that's what I'm looking for. What is the young freshman that Carl Albert going to bring in this year? Help them get a little further and repeat the state tournament. I mean, that's what I'm looking for. Is I know what left, but now what's coming in.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, you start talking about all these incoming freshmen, who's going to be able to help their team, starting, coming off the bench or whatever. I feel like, if you're getting some games as a freshman, you're doing something really good. If you're not, it's okay to learn from JV and then, on the freshman team. Parents, don't get upset if your kid's not, if your baby hasn't picked up a basketball all summer, you expect her to come play on the freshman team, on the varsity team, and get game and minutes. And she ain't picked up a ball all summer. She ain't been to nobody's training, or she ain't done nothing. And then you're mad because she started for the 8th grade team. Well, it's not an 8th grade team no more. All 4 grades play together. So the parents got to realize that. You got to go out there and get the training and the work ethics that, hey, I got to be in the gym. I know a lot of these girls are in the gym. I know they're working hard and putting their body through the things they need to go through and always getting up shots. So I'm looking forward to going to that camp. I know me and you'll do some coverage there and talk about some of the freshmen. Like I said, there's a lot of freshmen out there that people don't know about, and once they see them, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, that's that young lady that that you was talking about. Oh, that's the girl that's from Calumet, Canute or El Reno, or I mean just wherever, all over the state. So when you do this deal, they're coming from all over. They're not gonna just be Mid-Dale kids, or they're gonna be from all over. So it's gonna be exciting, when we get all these freshmen in the same room. And folks, if you guys check the show out, Coach V is telling you to come out. That's gonna be on what day, Coach?
We're doing the 13th is the expo, which is the sophomores and up, and the 6th freshmen.
You said September 6th?
September 6th.
What time would that be?
I believe it's 11 to 2, something like that. 11 to 2.
11 to 2. Well, Coach, I'm going to get out of here, man. I think I'm going to get ready for all-day basketball, man. The schedule changed like 4 or 5 times. We're supposed to play all day Sunday. Now we're playing all day Saturday. So we just had a great dinner, man. The ladies threw down, man. I give a shout-out to Misty, Jessica, Miss Kane, Miss Amber. These guys, man. I took the trash out, Coach, so I got to say I did something. Chris wouldn't play golf all day. He's 2%, so he wouldn't play golf all day. Ernie got his workout in. Ernie's probably, out of all the men that's here, Ernie might be in the best shape, Coach. You know what I'm saying?
He's always in shape.
Yeah, he always doing something, man. I mean, he went and ran a marathon this morning. I mean, he's always on the go, though. So, Brandon, we'll talk about him another day, Coach. But, Coach, I appreciate, man. Like I said, I know we want to drop something this week, even though we're not in Oklahoma, but we're going to keep bringing this, man. I keep seeing our subscribers go up each week. I know we've been putting a little Wednesday hump day thing out. Been hilarious, man. I mean, it's so funny. I know we're not sitting by next to each other, but if we still can do this show and get it out to our girls, and thanks for all the girls and parents. I mean, the guy from Texas gave us some love. That's pretty cool. Folks, if you don't know, me and Coach V trying to go to another level. Shout out to BSN. Triple Elite, we're gonna put them on our board as a sponsor. So thank you to those guys, and just the guy from Texas. I haven't got a chance to get back with him. I get back next week. We're trying to format our show kind of like what we're doing now, but a little bit more. Having me and V. There's some days when season starts, he can't be there. We can kind of break it down this and bring a coach in, a player in, and talk all at the same time. So we're working on that format. We're trying to take this to another level. People are starting to believe in us, and I mean, as they should. Our high school girls basketball don't get the coverage it needs, and I think we're the two that can do it. I mean, I'm still going to do some Keep It 100, but right now my love is right here between Oklahoma high school girls, between the lines, man. It's been fun working with you and getting educated by you daily, so I really appreciate that.
I appreciate the energy. You bring a lot of energy and a lot of work as well, so it's a good team. I'm looking forward. We're almost about year one.
Year one, baby. We're getting there, man. We started, like I said, we got some things up the sleeve that we're gonna come with, man. So we're excited, man. We can't tell you all our tricks, because if not, they'll be over at Dick's using them too. Well, Coach, I love you, man. I'll see you when I get back in town. We'll get back on the road and start doing our things we got to do. Get ready. I know we're gonna probably do a little bit of work at the MAYB next week, and then cover some of those teams and some of those girls. And should be a good tournament. I don't know. You're gonna have some of the best teams in it because a lot of people shutting down because they're probably terming out. I mean, I told
a lot
you,
of people going to elite camps.
yeah, elite camps. I know OBU throwing one, right? I think Bo's throwing one.
OBU, Northeastern's the same day. I think Southern Nazarene's ran there, and then Southwestern Oklahoma State's got a couple. So there's good team camps. There's good elite camps. And
if you're a freshman should go to the camp. They're going to learn something. Don't be scared. Get your baby out there. Compete.
Yep. If
you ain't competing, you ain't getting better. That's how I feel.
Yep.
But Coach, like I said, we'll catch up next week, and I'll get this edited and dropped, and we'll do it again next week. All right?
Sounds great.
All right, appreciate you, Coach. Thanks, sir. See ya!
We'd like to thank the following sponsors of Motherline Hoops, Prep Girl Hoops, Keep It 100, and for the latest in high school girls basketball action, check out the podcast on YouTube, Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball Between the Lines.